Hi, I'm Jillian, and I'm a Year 1 Computer Science student at University Science Malaysia. I love coding because if I can think it, I can make it into a reality. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you all how you can use Scratch to animate a meme and bring it to life. Okay, so let's get started. First, we'll need to remove the cat first. So just click on the sprite one and then click on the bin to delete it. Next, we'll need to pick a background. So to pick a background, just click on the icon at the bottom right corner. And as you can see, there's a lot of options for you to choose from. There's Mural, Nebula, Boo, and many more cool options for you to choose from. So just choose whatever you want. And in this case, I'm going to choose the space one as I like this one the most. Next, it's time for us to choose our sprites. So to do this, just click on that cut icon that is next to the backdrop icon. If you're wondering what are sprites, sprites are basically just things that you code or animate in Scratch. Since this project is for you to animate your name, you probably want to click on the letters. And as you can see, there are 3 different types of fonts for you to choose from. And just in case if you don't like the fonts that is provided here, you can also come to here and then click on the paint button to customize your own sprite. However, in this case, I'm going to just use the pre-made one that we have here. And for me, personally, I prefer the Glow version better compared to the other version for the font. So I'm going to go with the Glow version. And I'm going to be picking Jillian as my name is Jillian. So let's start off by picking the first letter for our name. And then the second letter, third letter, fourth letter, fifth letter, sixth letter, and the last letter. And as you can see, after we have the sprites, they are probably seems like a bit out of the place, so we will need to get them in the correct order. So just click on the letter that you want to change its position and then drag it to the position where you want it to be. Okay, so now our letters are now in a correct order and we are ready to make the letters interactive. But before we move on to the most exciting part, let me teach you all how to change the color for the font first. So to change the color for the font, just click on the first letter. We'll start off from the first letter and then click on the fill button and then change the color to the color you want to change it to be. So for the first letter, I would like to change it to purple. And then click on the fill button again. And click on the outer border for your letter. And as you can see, the first letter has been changed to purple color. Then let's move on to the next letter. Okay, so now I'm done changing the colors for all the letters that we have here. And it's time for us to move on to the most exciting part, which is the coding part. So I'm going to click on the code section and then click on J again. We'll start animate the first letter first. And then go to the events and then click and drag when this sprite is clicked. So Events are basically just the events that starts the animation. So if somebody were to click on J, it will move however they want it to be. So you can choose other events as well, such as when the green flag is clicked, when the space key is pressed, and many more options. It is really depending on you for what events that you want to start the animation. So I want to let the J rotate. So I'm going to hit to the motion section and then pick the turn clockwise 15 degrees and then drag and drop it onto the screen. But I'm going to change the amount of degree to 5, and it is also depending on you whether you want to change the degree to what amount. Yeah. So I decided to do 5 degrees is because I'm also going to the controls and clicking on the repeat function and then drag and drop it onto the screen. So the reason why I want to use the control function is because I want to repeat the rotation clockwise for 5 degrees for 10 times. So in total, it will turn a total of 50 degrees when somebody click on it. So now we can test it out by just clicking on J. And then as you can see, when I click on it, it will turn a total of 50 degrees. Okay, so the first sector is done. Let's move on to the next sector. So in this case, I'm going to hit to the event again and then drag and drop the when this sprite is clicked as well, as I'm going to let the I letter to grow big and go back to its original size. And instead of motion this time, I'm going to go to the look session. And as you can see, there are a lot of different options here as well. There are like options to let it say something and also change its size and also change the color for the sprite. So I'm going to change its size in this case. I'm going to leave it at 10, but I'm going to the controls again and use the repeat function again and leave it at 10 times. You can change how many times it repeats. It's totally up to you. And now I'm going to go back to the looks again and then get another change size. But this time I'm going to edit the amount to be negative because I want to make the size smaller. And then I'll hit to the controls again and then click on the repeat function and drag and drop it. So basically, as you can see now, I'm making sure that the size for the eye will increase by 10 times and it will decrease by 10 times. So it grows and shrinks the same amount. So when you click on eye, you can see that it does that. Okay, so let's move on to the next letter. So for this letter, I'm going to the events again and then click and drop when this sprite is clicked. And then I'll hit to the motion and then click the go to random position and then drop it. And then I'll hit to the controls and then use the forever function and then drop it. So let's test it out. So as you can see, this function is like it will let the L letter to go to a random position forever. So it's like looping forever. Okay, next let's move on to the next letter. I'll hit to the events again as usual and then use the when this sprite is clear. And then this time I'm going to go with the change color effect. And then I'm going to fix it at 25. So let's test it out. So basically, as you can see, this function is like whenever I click on a letter, it will let it change its color. And now I'm sure that you all already have some of your basics now, so please go ahead and play with the effects for the rest of the letters. So we have reached the end of the tutorial. I hope it benefits you. I am a code sister. I can code, so can you.